What the actual hell? She froze in the doorway, her hand is still gripping the keycard, eyes locked onto the tall figure standing inside her doorroom. A black duffel bag lay open on the floor, a half unpacked hoodie spilled over the side, her side, and standing in the middle of the chaos was none other than Jungkook, the infamous campus heartthrob flirt and widely known source of chaos. Hey roommate, he looked up casually, tossing a granola bar into his mouth. Roommate, her voice pitched up so high it cracked. She stepped inside slowly, eyes wide with disbelief, lips parting as her heart began thudding unevenly. The butterflies in her stomach were not welcome, absolutely not. He looked way too comfortable here, tozel like he just rolled out of bed, hoodie hanging off one shoulder, silver piercing catching the light like a tease. His backup was already on the bed across from hers, her bed. This is a girl's dorm. She dropped her bag with a loud thud, arms flailing slightly as she tried to make sense of what was happening. Her brain was short circuiting, and all she could focus on was the cookie green tugging at the corner of Jungkook's lips. Yeah, well, housing office made a mistake, said it's temporary until they sort it out. Could be few days, could be a semester. He shrugged, walking over to her side like he belonged there. You can't stay here. Her jaw clenched. She crossed her arm tightly, trying not to show the way her cheeks were already burning. He stood right in front of her dresser, lifting a photo frame she had placed just hour ago. Cute, this your dog? Looks grumpy like you. He smirked, placing it back down slowly, deliberately. Put that down, don't touch my stuff. She rushed forward, snatching the frame from his hand, eyes blazing. He held his hand up like he was innocent, like he had not just violated the scared roommate boundary before they even established one. Relax, I was just saying hi to the family, he winked. Oh my god, you are unbearable. She turned away, her face burning with a mixture of rage and something way more dangerous, something warm and flirty. That made her skin tingle. She hated that. Behind her, she heard him flopping onto his bed like it was a damn hotel. Look, I promise not to peek while you are changing unless you forgot to close the curtain. Then it's on you. He smirked while Van rolled her eyes. You are a pig. She grabbed the spare blanket from her shelf and swam over to the curtain rod, yanking it across the room to separate their beds. It was thin, barely thicker than a hospital curtain, but it gave her the illusion of privacy, and right now she needed that illusion more than anything. Later that night, the lights were off, the room was dim except for the faint glow of Vine's phone screen. She lay on her side, glaring at the curtain as it gently fluttered with the breeze from the cracked window. Then she heard it, drumming, light tapping, and humming. Can you not do that? Her voice was muffled by her pillow, but the annoyance in it was clear. The tapping stopped, brief silence, then a soft whistle. You don't like background music? I like sleep, try it sometimes. A bit of silence, then a soft chuckle from the other side. You know you talk in your sleep. Her eyes flew open. What? She sat up instantly, yanking the curtain back with fury. Kidding, but you will with that control freak brain of yours? He lay sprawled across his bed in a tank top now, arms behind his head, tattoos curling down his biceps and making her eyes linger longer than she meant to. Her stomach did that annoying flutter again, and she hated how warm her cheeks felt. You are lucky murder is illegal. She dropped the curtain back with force and fell on her bed, staring up at the ceiling in absolute disbelief. One day, it had only been one day. Next morning, she walked out of the bathroom in her robe, towel wrapped around her damp hair. She was scrolling through her phone when she looked up and nearly screamed. Jun Jungkook stood in the middle of the room shirtless, drying his hair with towel, tattoos glistening from the shower. His sweatpants hung low, far too low, and the side hit her like a truck. Her phone nearly slipped from her hand. Put some clothes on. He looked up, utterly calm, like this was normal. Even heard of knocking? This is my room too. You can't just stand here half naked. She turned around immediately, hands flying to her eyes like that would erase what she had just seen. Her whole body felt hot, ears, cheeks, even her neck. Jungkook laughed. Don't worry, Rumi, you will get used to the view. I will actually kill you. I will bury your body under this dome. He only laughed harder, and she felt a shiver run down her spine, not from fear, not from cold, but from that dangerous, stupid spark he carried in his smile. The next morning felt like a fever dream as Vine stood in front of the bathroom mirror, still flustered from what happened earlier. Her brain kept replaying the image Jungkook half naked, water dripping down his chest like some scene out of a drama made her destroy female sanity. She ground, gripping her brush too tightly. This was exactly why she needed to avoid him, not just because he was annoying, not just because he teased like it was his full time job, but because he used to be her high school crush. He has two grades above her, popular even back then, girls throwing themselves at him, professors weirdly London, always surrounded by noises and attention. She remembered watching him from a distance during study hall, thinking he was untouchable, thinking she was invisible to him until he kissed her. Just one, just for a dare, a stupid game of truth or dare at the senior party when someone dared Jungkook to kiss the quiet girl. He did it. One hand against the wall, had tilted just enough, lips brushing hers for a second too long. She thought it meant something. But after the kiss, he had laughed with his friends like it was nothing. No eye contact, no apology. He had forgotten her, and now he was her roommate. One zoomed out of the bathroom, towel still around her neck, ready to ignore him for the rest of the day. Jungkook sat at the tiny desk in his corner of the room, earbuds in, sketching something in a notebook. She paused, noticing his messy handwriting across the paper, his tongue peeked out in concentration as he shaded in a curve. It annoyed her how attractive he looked when he wasn't being a maniac. And suddenly he looked up, catching her staring. You want something, Rumi? He is leaning back in the chair like he already knew the answer. Yeah, for you to spontaneously combust. Yikes. That's not very roommate friendly. He closed the notebook, propping his feet on the desk. His socks didn't match. One had pizza slice, the other had little bunnies with knives. Unless that your way of saying you like me, you have severe delusions. She turned away quickly, but not before he noticed the slight blush creeping up her neck. Oh, you are cute when you are mad, and you are still here when I close my eyes. Tragic. She grabbed her phone and keys, yanking her bag over her shoulder with extra force. Where are you going? Away from you, Jungkook chuckled, hot. A little chase. I swear, Jungkook, you will fall for me eventually. She made a strangled noise and slammed the door behind her while Jungkook laughed, shaking his head. Hours later, Vine sat in the campus cafe, earbuds in, textbook spread out, trying to study, but her brain was foggy. Every time she tried to focus on organic chemistry, her mind kept replaying the kiss. Not the kiss itself, but how it made her feel nervous, excited, important, and then afterward humiliated. She hated that memory more than anything. And now she was stuck living 6 feet away from the guy who didn't even remember it happened. She was in her thoughts when a shadow fell over her table. You always run away when people flirt with you, or is it just me? Van jerked her head up. He stood there with two iced coffee in his hand. One black, one exactly how she liked it. Vanilla, light ice, extra foam. She stared at the cup, then at him. How do you know my order? Your roommate has ears and eyes. You mumble to yourself when you are stressed. He pushed the cup towards her with a small grin, but she didn't take it. What do you want? Nothing. He pulled out the chair across from her, sitting with zero invitation. Okay, maybe something. She narrowed her eyes. You don't like me, I get it, but you are not very subtle. That's because I am not trying to be. He laughed again. She hated that she liked the sound. Seriously though, did I kill your cat in the past life or something? You don't remember, do you? She said it softly, too softly, while he blinked. Remember what? She looked away, lips tightening. Never mind. No, tell me. She stood, picking up her bag. She couldn't do this, not right now. It's not important. As she turned to leave, his voice dropped lower. Hey, wait, she didn't stop. Her heart was thudding again, but not because of nerves, because of anger. Old anger hurt. She had shoved down for years, and now it was coming back up fast. One swam back into her dorm that night, pushing the door open with her foot and mumbling curses under her breath. Her bag was spilling off her shoulder, her phone was dying, and the very last thing she needed was him. Jungkook was sprawled on the floor, arm behind his head, eyes closed, music blasting from the speaker. Shirtless again, of course. Why do you hate clothes? He opened one eye like he was waking up from a peaceful nap. Why do you hate fun? Because fun is loud, sweaty, and messed up my planner. She tossed her bag onto her bed and merged over the speaker, pressing pause without hesitation. Rude. You are listening to elevator jazz at full volume. First of all, that was loofy hip hop. Second, it's proven to help with focus. One rolled her eyes. Then, why are you laying on the floor like a retired grandpa? He smirked and reached up to grab the speaker from her hand, brushing her fingers in the process, and her stomach flipped, but she absolutely ignored it. I am meditating. It's a vibe. You are a vibe that needs to be exercised. He grinned wider, sitting up. You keep roasting me, but never leave. You sure you're not just in love with me? Huh. She rolled her eyes and grabbed her notebook, flipping through pages angrily while trying to avoid looking at his abs, which was hard. His abs were everywhere. By the way, I cleaned the mini fridge with what? A sock and a pear. Her mouth fell open. You what? She asked in shock while he only grinned. Kidding, relax, I used a sponge. Probably yours, he winked at her. You are literally why I have trust issues. She pulled out a pink sticky note and slapped it on the fridge door. Rule number one, no touching my stuff, not my sponge, not my snacks, not my toothbrush. Got it? Do you usually yell when you write rules, or is it just meeting? She grabbed another sticky note. Rule number two, no walking around half naked like this is Magic Mike Dome edition. He stood up slowly, arm crossing, smug green on full blast. What if it is? Then I want a refund and a pair of sunglasses. She stuck the note above his bed dramatically. Fine, you want rules? Let's play. He reached into his drawer, pulled out a pen, and walked over. She stepped back instinctively. Annoyed by how close he was, their arm brushed and it gave her goosebumps while he scribbled a note and slapped it right next to hers. Rule number three, no falling in love with me. I know it's hard, but try. Her eyes widened. You are actually delusional. You are blushing. She hated that smug grin on his face. I am overheating from secondhand embarrassment. She turned away quickly and pretended to organize herself while silently screaming. Days passed over a week. They didn't kill each other. That in itself was a miracle, but something had shifted. One sat on her bed, pretending to read, but her eyes kept flicking towards the curtain separating their beds. The same thin and useless curtain that used to make her feel safe, now it felt more like a wall she was dying to pull down. She could hear him laughing softly from the other side, probably texting some girl who wasn't her, probably charming her without even trying, probably being his usual frustrating, flirty, annoyingly attractive self. She sighed and dropped the book on her lap. What was happening to her? She used to want to be anywhere but this room. Now she found herself listening for his voice when it got too quiet, noticing his absence, wondering why her stomach flipped every time he said her name, and the worst part, she liked it. Later that night, Jungkook came in late. Her wet hoodie clinging to his both shoulders, smiling like nothing had changed, but something had. He walked past her bed without a word and sat at his desk, pulling off his rings and placing them one by one on the shelf. His hand moved slower than usual. She stared at him. You are quiet. He didn't turn around. You want me to be quiet, remember rule number four or whatever? That was before you become tolerable. He gave her a soft laugh and finally turned, eyes locking with hers, and she hated how her breath hissed. You think I'm tolerable now? Don't let it go to your head. There was silence, not awkward, not tense, just full like the air was holding its breath. You have been avoiding me, she blinked. I live with you, I can't exactly avoid you. You stopped talking when I walked in, you don't throw blows anymore, you don't even yell. One blink her brows frowned. So you are mad I stopped fighting with you? He shook his head in denial. I am not mad. He stood, slowly walking towards her bed with careful steps, a kind of slow, calculated steps that made her heartbeat pound in her throat, while he stopped at the edge of her blanket, hands in his hoodie pocket. I just don't know what changed. She looked down at her hands. Her finger had curled into the blanket like they were trying to anchor her. Nothing changed. I just got tired. Tired of me? She didn't answer right away. That silence was loud enough to make his jaw tighten. Got it. He turned to leave. I remember. He paused while she stood up, heart hammering against her ribs. That party senior year, the kiss. His head turned slightly, but he didn't face her. You kissed me like I mean something, then laughed like it was a joke. The room went still. No music, no jokes, just tension, thick and bitter. I didn't laugh at you. His voice was low, not defensive, just sad. She stared at him confused. You forget it even happened, I didn't. He turned fully now, face serious, eyes raw. I remember every day you had cherry lip balm. You blinked really fast after. You looked terrified when swallowed. It was hard to digest as she never thought he'd notice even a bit thing in that short moment. You never said anything. You never looked at me again. He took a slow breath. I thought I ruined your night. I thought I crossed a line, so I pretend it didn't happen. Then I left for college the next month. She stared at him, completely still. Her throat felt tight. So all this time I remembered, and when I saw you again on move-in day, I panicked. He stepped closer, voice dropping. I act stupid, flirty, loud because I didn't know how to say hi, sorry, I kissed you and disappeared. You are an idiot, I know. Another bit of silence, then she laughed quiet at first, then louder. He stared at her, blinking in confusion. You fought a squirrel, Jungkook. He blinked again, then grinned. When he remembered some days ago a squirrel jumped into him to snatch his granola bar, and he fought to save it from that small squirrel. I fought for your honor. You were screaming. The air in the room shifted. I was strategically retreating. She stepped forward, and now they were close, so close she could feel the warmth of his skin and smell the faint hint of his collar. Why are you telling me all this? There was a seriousness in her voice. Now because you deserve more than jokes and stupid sticky notes, he swallowed. Because somewhere between your death glares and the way you hog the blanket, I fell for you. Her eyes widened and she froze. I didn't mean to, but I did. Butterflies, the kind that hit like a punch to the chest. Her cheeks burned. Her fingers twitched. I am still mad at you. Good. That means I still get to see you yell. The two had a smile on their faces. And you are still annoying, but hot. Debatable. He laughed, then paused, and my stomach flipped. Can I kiss you for real this time? She didn't answer with words, but she reached up, grabbed his hoodie, and pulled him down to her. His lip met hers, soft at first, careful, like a caution, then deeper, like a promise. She kissed him back, fingers curling in the fabric at his chest. The tension finally breaking like a storm. When they pulled apart, she was breathless, dazed, heart racing. Okay, maybe a little hot. Told you. He smirked and leaned his forehead against hers. Roommate rule number 5, kiss often. Rule number 6, shut up and do it again.